and welcome to We Poets. My name is Sally Baker and I'm the host of We Poets. We Poets is a poetry show for boys and girls between the ages of 6 and 13. Also, we're always looking for dependable interns between the ages of 13 and 19. So if you are an intern and you would like to come and help us produce our show, have your parents or your school teacher call me. Also, I'm always looking for adult guests to come and tell young people something about their job or career that young people can pursue when they graduate from high school and college. Tonight we have 4 wonderful guests who are going to tell us all about a wonderful center here in Berkeley. I'm going to interview them. And we're always looking for a new space to do our TV program. We've been doing it here at La Pena Cultural Center in Oakland, and we thank them very much for letting us use their facility here. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to my first guest. And his name is John Holloway. He is an alcohol and other drug counselor at the center called Berkeley Drop-In Center in Berkeley. Hi, John.
Good afternoon, Sally. How are you doing?
Good. I'm so glad you could come and tell us all about this wonderful nonprofit organization here in Berkeley. So please tell us all about what is the Berkeley Drop-In Center.
Well, the Berkeley Drop-In Center is a nonprofit organization. It was founded in 1985, but we didn't start getting rolling really nonprofit until 1988.
Mm-hmm. And what takes place there at the center?
A lot of things, a lot of good, positive things. We have clients that come get their mail there, the homeless people who come get their mail. We have groups. We have a men's group. We have a social group, and we also go out on outings. We've been to fishing. We've been to Alcatraz, and we've been bowling. So we try to get the clients, out there, so they can do something other than bad things.
Bad things, yes. Now, are you looking for volunteers?
We always have looking for volunteers. Our volunteer coordinator is Victor, who's with us today.
And he's going to tell us about those duties, right?
Right.
Yes.
He'll tell you about those duties, but we have volunteers. We also have clients that pitch in.
Good.
That help clean up without asking. So we do a lot of good positive things there.
Good.
And we also have, let me say, since I'm a drug counselor, we also have an NA meeting there.
Good.
10 o'clock on Fridays.
Good. Now tell us where you're located and what hours are you open?
We're located 3234 Adeline in Berkeley. Mm-hmm. And the hours are 9 o'clock a.m. to 4 o'clock p.m. Monday through Friday.
Good, good. Now, do you serve meals to the clients?
Yes. I used to pick up food from Hoover Middle School, but right now, Hoover Middle School is delivering to the Berkeley Drop-In.
Good, good.
So we have an abundance of milk, cereal, fruit.
Good.
Spaghetti, and we also, upstairs we have an administration office. They pitch in sometimes with bacon and eggs. And my wife, I have to say my wife, Bridget, we also fix oatmeal, eggs, and bacon and eggs and things like that.
Good thing for the men. Are most of your clients men or men and women?
Men and women, but mostly men. We have been trying to get women in there. We've been trying to get a women's group started there. Speaking of intern, Victor has an intern named Lola. She just started, so we're going to try to get her to start a women's group there.
Good, good. Now, what activities do the men participate in that come there as your clients?
Wow. We do abundance of things. Like I said, we have the men's group, which I facilitate. We also have a memberships group, which I facilitate. And the membership group is the members that come in. They're the ones that, not say call the shots, but what they would like to do. We do groups. I have a paper that has a goal setting.
Good.
So they can set their goals.
Goals, yes.
So instead of just lingering around the drop-in center, we try to initiate something positive with them.
Yes, yes.
Besides trying to get off the drugs and alcohol, we try to have them find other things to do. Hence, that's why we go out and do other things. Our next adventure is we're going to the San Joaquin Delta. We're going to go fishing.
Oh, great.
Then after that, we're going to go to the lake, just to have fun, talk. We're going to have another group out there. So we're trying to find other alternatives for them to do.
Yes. Now, do you have different groups like sponsor automobiles so you can take them, or how do you take them to these different outings?
Victor and I do
Drive
that.
your own car?
Yeah, we do that.
I see, I
Yeah.
see. Now, what are some of the things that you might need volunteers to give your organization to help you continue to run the center?
Well, just the positivity, a change of thinking, a change of mind, and help. We have clients that, like I said, pitch in without asking.
Good.
They come in, they help. What do you need, John? What do you need, Victor? Let me say this. We also have a housing section.
Good. Tell us about that, please.
Ruby, who's here with us today, is a housing coordinator along with Toya, and their job is to help people find places like in shelters.
Yes.
Shelters and transitional houses, housing that get on Shelter Plus Care or Section 8 or waiting lists. So they'll inform the clients what's open and what's not open.
Oh, good, good. Do you have many women and children who are your clients?
Yes, Sally. Unfortunately, some of the women there are homeless, and it's really sad because they'll bring their kids in.
Yes.
And we help them as much as we can, and I mean, you touched something with me right there, because it's sad to see women going through abuse and and get kicked out or just get released from prison. We get a number of those, and sadly, they turn back to what they know.
Right, right.
So we try to give them as much support
as you can.
As we can, yes.
Now, do you need articles of clothing? Like if women have extra clothes in their closet, and they'd like to donate clothing?
Yes, we just had a big five-bag donation from one of my churchgoers, Montreal, and he brought that in. We always getting donations, coats, jackets, and getting ready to get wintertime.
Yes.
So at my church, Amos Temple, give a shout out.
Yes.
Amos Temple, I go up there to the podium and I ask for donations, like hair grease, coats,
shoes,
combs, shoes, socks, and everything
hygiene
like that.
Articles.
Yes.
Blankets, pillows.
Shave equipment, all that. Cologne, floss, all that.
Yes.
Anything we can get our hands on.
That's right. To make people feel worthy and as respectful, and humans, Sometimes people think homeless people are, worthless, but they're not. Everybody's a human and has dignity.
Well, one of my duties I picked up on my own, I have to thank Alejandro for this, is that he got me to go out to do outreach.
Oh.
And I've met kids who got kicked out of their parents' house, older people people out there like 60s and 70 years old still out there smoking and lost. But I go out there and I'll take a client out there with me or a volunteer out there with me, and we go out there and we do the best we can. We feed them, we give them information about the drop-in,
yes,
where they can come and get help. We also offer a DMV voucher, so people can get their DMV, their identifications, so if they want to get a job, they have a license to do so. So that's very important.
Now, do you help them to get cell phones? I understand that some of the agencies help the homeless get cell phones and places to receive their mail.
Well, we have a mail coordinator, which is volunteer with my man Victor out there.
Okay, so he'll talk about that?
Yeah, he'll talk about that. But as far as the cell phones, sometimes they'll have a company come up in front of the drop-in.
Oh.
Well, we ourselves don't do anything like that.
But
a company will come out front and they'll help the homeless get phones.
Well, I want to thank you so much for all this wonderful information. I'm going to hear from the other three people who have come in. And once again, give us the name and the address and the telephone number so that people watching, if they want to contact you, they'll know how to get hold of your center.
It's the Berkeley Drop-In Center, 3234 Adeline Street, Berkeley, California. Telephone number is 510-653-653-3808.
And it's accessible by, can you tell us by bus or BART or what?
Bus, the 12 bus will roll you right in front.
Good, good. And BART comes near too, doesn't it?
Ashby BART, get off, walk about 2 blocks down the street to 32, 34, and it's right there, about a block and a half.
Good, good. Well, I want to thank you so much. This has been such a wonderful interview. And now I'm going to interview 3 of your other colleagues, and they're going to tell us some more about the Berkeley Drop-In Center.
Okay.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Sally.
Welcome back to the second half of We Poets. I'm Sally Baker, the host. I would now like to introduce you to another very special guest. Her name is Ruby Butler, and she's going to tell us all about her work at the Berkeley Drop-In Center. Hi, Ruby.
Hi, how you doing?
Good. I'm so glad you could come today and tell us about your work there at the Berkeley Drop-In Center. Be our guest.
I've been a housing coordinator there for going on 2.5 years.
And what does a housing coordinator do?
We assist with a number of things. One of our main things we do is we provide case management services to our Shelter Plus Care clients. We may do a season of sharing application for someone depending on their need. It could be delinquent in rent, maybe they need to pay a PG&E bill or furniture for a new place or deposit fees, anything under that scope. We also assist with finding affordable or low-income housing leads for folks. We may assist them with a 211 screening or an assessment. And our primary group of folks that we serve would be people that are homeless or folks that have mental health challenges.
Now, how are the people referred to you? Can they just walk in, or do they have to be referred?
No, most of our folks are on a drop-in basis. And we're open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m.
And would you give us the address, please?
We're located at 3234 Adeline Street in Berkeley, California.
Now, the next question is, what are some of the challenges people face while trying to get permanent housing?
Well, it could be a number of things. The number one reason I have come to notice that stops people from getting housing is they don't meet the income requirements. A lot of places want you to make 2 to 3 times the amount that the rent is.
Yes.
So a lot of people are eliminated with just that process. And then there's, the credit check, the background check. Folks may have an eviction in the past. They may have lack of housing rental history, so there's no references to call. What other things people may face? Some people, leave a lot of blanks on their application, not necessarily as savvy as they should be with filling out the application and getting the documents in.
Do you help people who need health help, like going to see a doctor or a dentist?
We don't have any health services. However, if a person says, well, I may need somebody to speak to, we do send them, to, I believe it's Berkeley Behavioral Services near us.
Oh.
Yeah. So we would send them there. But that is something that we're looking into because most of our staff is trained on some level to have, peer-to-peer counseling. So that's something that we are working on getting more of. Having a designated time or a designated person that does that peer-to-peer counseling. Because some folks do come in and they just want to talk.
Yes.
And it can be a lot. If I've literally have slept on the street last night and I'm trying to, stay awake, or I'm hungry and I'm trying to just get through this process and intake everything that you're trying to help me with. It can be a lot for folks.
Oh, yes. And I'm sure you see some tragic situations.
Oh, yes. I love my job, but it's not always rewarding. You may see a senior that's homeless, or a woman and children, or someone just got out of the hospital and there's nowhere to even go to get better. So I just, try to take the good with the bad and keep myself as educated as I can so that I can pass that information on to other folks.
Now, how long have you been working there?
I'm going on 2.5 years.
2.5 years. Oh, that's good. Do you have a rapid turnover of personnel or not?
No, not so much.
people are there to dedicated to helping.
Yeah, most folks have been there at least 2 to 5 years or longer.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I think the tragic things that I see with the homeless, the older people, the senior citizens, like you say, the ladies pushing their shopping carts, and you know they're not clean. You know they don't have any clean clothes, and the old men, you know, and the ones children, you know, just victims of poverty, you know, and neglect, you know. And they haven't always been that way. Many of the people that we see have had jobs, you know, and they're educated and all, but just maybe their luck is down, you know, and they're just in a situation like that. We need places like your drop-in center to help them.
Right. And I don't doubt the housing system right now. But what I do feel like is that the process is becoming more and more complicated.
Yes.
And that is challenging for folks. If I have mental health issues already, this can be very triggering for me to, always hear, come back tomorrow or not yet.
Yeah.
It could be very triggering for folks. So I try to be encouraging. My favorite thing is whatever it is, always apply, because there's going to be some type of weight.
Help. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you so much for coming. Now I'm going to interview 2 more of your co-workers, and I know they have some interesting information to put out. Thank you so much for coming.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It was my pleasure.
Thank you. And now we have a handsome young man. He's going to tell us all about his activities at the Berkeley Drop-In Center. And I don't know how to pronounce his last name, so I'm going to let him pronounce the last name. I don't want to slaughter it. But his first name is Victor. Hi, Victor.
Good to meet you, Sally.
What country are you from?
I'm from Zimbabwe. That's in southern Africa.
How long have you been here in America?
Well, it's been 11 years now.
11 years.
Yes,
how do you like it?
Well, I like it and I don't. It's a mixed bag.
It's a mixed bag.
It's a mixed bag.
Very different from your country.
Very different.
I don't imagine you have much homelessness in your country, right?
Well, we do, but it's a different case. It's not purely economically driven. It could be a matter of choice due to social or political situations. But you find that what I find in America is it's mostly economically driven. So it's very different.
Oh, yes, yes. Now, the first question, what activities does the Berkeley Drop-In Center provide?
So, as John mentioned, we do have outings. The last outing we had was to the Crab Cove in Alameda. And we also went to Alcatraz at one point. John has taken people bowling. And our next one will be to take a walk around the lake and just
Good exercise.
talk about life,
Yes.
exercise, and just have some fresh air. But we also have art and social time, which is something I facilitate. I'm a visual artist by training.
Oh, good.
And we just had an exhibition actually 2 months ago, which was all created by our members at the Drop-In Center. And it was really a moving exhibition because with art, you learn more from the artwork each time you see it. So just seeing these pieces of art created by people coming from different walks of life was really, it's always revitalizing. It gives you hope, so to speak. So that's some of the activities we do.
Could you talk about some of the pieces of artwork that were submitted to the exhibit?
Oh, yes. Well, John, who was here, did a piece called Trapped, and it's basically got the word trapped in it, and it looks like it's an abstract piece with block colors in it and a figure in the middle of it. And he said it's about life. You become trapped. by life circumstances, by drugs, by situations, whatever it may be. So it was really moving to see that piece, because for me it personally jogs me into reality, like, am I trapped, am I not trapped? It makes you become aware. Yeah. So that's one piece I really like. The other one is by another one of our dear members, and it's of a seagull. Beautiful, beautiful painting of a seagull by the beach. And he's always talking about the beach. He's in his 70s, and just to see the gentle nature that comes from within just reminds you that we are not born to be violent, homeless people.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Yes, wonderful. Now, are you an artist?
I am an artist.
What do you like to create?
Well, my process is simply allowing myself to paint. And by that I mean I become aware of the fact that my mind will go to rules and regulations and try to stop myself and create a beautiful picture. No, instead I just let it happen. Just let it, whatever's inside, let it flow, you know. And finding that flow is so liberating, because you then realize that whatever you do, it will be something. And if you don't try to control it and just follow the flow, the more beautiful it becomes.
Right, right. Now let's see here. What are some of the successful activities you have held?
One of the most successful activities we've held is we hosted an artist, Edith Boone, who's a well-known muralist in the Bay Area. And she came and had a 12-week workshop with our members. Out of that, we created a fabulous T-shirt, and which was one of our members' ideas.
Good.
And so we managed to print the T-shirt, but also we participated in a mural painting on Ashby and corner Ashby and Ellis.
Oh.
So our members had a huge stake in that. You know, there was a lot of planning from the administration side of things. It was our organization basically handled the food needs, the logistics of the planning of the mural. So there was a lot of involvement from the management right down to our members. Not right down, but right across to our members. And it is just such a wonderful thing to see us working as a group. As one. Yeah. So the mural on Ashby and on the crossroad is Ellis is really beautiful, and we've got a huge stake in that.
Good. Could you tell us what it depicts?
It's basically about the history of Berkeley. So yes, it takes you all the way from the Native American history right through to present day Berkeley.
Good.
So it's really a vast expanse mural. Yeah.
Good, good. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming. You did a wonderful job. Is this your first time on TV?
Oh, no.
Oh, you've been on before?
Yeah.
Oh, good, good, good. Well, I want to thank you for the wonderful work you're doing. And now I'm going to interview another one of your co-workers. She's going to come on and tell us about her activities. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Sally.
I would now like to introduce you to another very special guest of mine tonight on our program, the Berkeley Drop-In Center. And her name is Katrina Gillian, and she's going to tell us all about her role at the Berkeley Drop-In Center. Hi, Katrina.
Hi, thank you for having us.
Good. Could you tell us what is your role at the Berkeley Drop-In Center?
So my primary role is support and leadership. And so I'm the executive director of the Alameda County Network of Mental Health Clients. And the Berkeley Drop-In Center is one of 5 programs that I provide leadership and support for.
Good. And how long have you held this position?
I have been a part of the network for 20 years.
20 years?
I have been in the primary leadership role for 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah, so I've had opportunity to work with all of the programs before I came into full leadership.
Good. Are you a native Californian, or are you from out of state?
Born and raised right here in California.
Good.
Right in the Bay Area.
Good, good. Could you tell us something about your background? Your educational background.
Well, I am almost at master's level. I have a couple of classes before I could call myself a master's degree. But I think the most valuable part of my education is actually working directly with people.
Good, good.
So when we talk about on-the-job experience, that's the most valuable thing I think anyone can grasp, especially when you're dealing with the population that we serve.
Yes, and Berkeley has such a lot of homeless people, and we have to solve this problem.
Yeah, we do, and I think it's a collective. It's not just this particular problem. I think all the pieces fit together.
Yes.
And everyone has a role to play in solving the challenge.
Yes, yes.
I don't see it as much as a problem, it's just a challenge.
A challenge, yes. Now, why is it important to provide peer support services?
One of the things that one of our philosophies as a part of the Drop-In Center, but larger in terms of the network, is we are who we serve. And so our agency is 99% comprised of folks that have lived experience. And that means that there are people who have personally experienced the challenge of being homeless, the challenge of having to address a mental health challenge or a drug and alcohol problem or family reunification or having issues with law enforcement. There is someone on staff that has had that personal experience. And what we've learned is that the best approach to someone is relatability. I understand what your challenge is. Here are some of the solutions that I've had to utilize to get to where I am now, and I'd like to share that with you. We have found that to be more effective than someone coming in saying, hey, do this intake. And I'm not connecting with you around what your challenge is, but rather I just want to present you with these options. We find that it's more effective when people have the relatability. You understand where I am, you understand my frustration, because you've had to go through these challenges yourself.
Now, can you tell us what a normal day would be like at the drop-in center? What you do in an 8-hour period of time?
So I am not specifically in the drop-in center. I work with the staff, the team.
I see.
And so my role is really helping them look at where they are, what services are they providing, what is our philosophy, what is the core mission of the agency, and that's really meeting the needs of the clients where they are. We have people that come in that are often at a high stress level. They are traumatized. Right? And so our staff's role is to meet people where they are. And sometimes that's in the most difficult of settings, it's in the most difficult of approaches, but our goal and our role is to meet people where they are and meet their needs. So all of the staff, I'm not gonna say most, all of the staff, they come in with the idea of whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes to get your needs met today, that's what we're trying to address. And then we work out the other stuff. What we've learned is most of the people that come in, they have multiple challenges. It's not just, I'm homeless. It's not just, I need my mail. It's not just, I need a cup of coffee. I just need a safe place to sit down. I need to use the bathroom. I need to be outside in the backyard where I can actually take a nap. Because I've been up all night because I'm sleeping on the street. And so we really try to address the immediate needs of our folks that are coming in with a whatever it takes attitude, whether let's get to the solution kind of attitude.
And I'm sure you feel so good when you can help these people that are homeless and maybe have lost all hope, and you can give them some hope. Let them know that they're a human being and they're worth something, you know. We all have something to give, you know.
Well, I mean, that kind of ties into having a staff that has lived experience. It's really able to tap into where people are and really help people identify who were you before you became homeless? Because I think sometimes the identity of homelessness kind of overshadows all the other gifts that they come in with. And I think when folks come into the drop-in center, they're able to set that title of homelessness on the side, and then we can start digging into the other stuff. Every single person that comes in has an excellent story to tell about who they are. They have a tremendous skill set to offer to what we're doing. But most importantly, they're holding on to hope. And so we try to keep that seed planted. We try to continue to nurture that seed of people acknowledging where they are and envisioning where they want to go.
Can you kind of tell us some of the situations that people come from? Like some of them might have been doctors or writers?
Oh my goodness. The things that we discover about people. We've had people come in that are ex-professional football players, people who speak 5 different languages, people who have master's degrees, like all these people who are artists that didn't know they were artists.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like people discover things about themselves as well. So it's not just, well, this is who I am, I'm homeless, and this is what I have to offer. There's so much more there. I think one thing that stood out for me was we had a gentleman come in and he had not seen his family in 10 years.
Oh no.
And so, you know, we're in the age of technology where you can almost find a distant relative in another country if you tap into the right resources, right? And so for us, we offer computer access to our clients. We offer mail, we offer the phone and message services. In this particular client, we were able to locate his daughter.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And she had been looking for her father for about 15 years.
Oh, isn't that a wonderful story?
So when we talk about chronic homelessness, there is a family detachment that happens that really creates this separation for people. And so one of the solutions in solving homelessness is helping people reunify with family.
Well, I'm sorry, we're out of time. We could go on and on. We'll talk afterwards.
God, I could talk forever.
I know you can, but I want to thank you so much for coming and your co-workers. This has been a wonderful program. And thank you, and keep up the good work.
I just have one comment.
What's that?
We all have the ability to solve the homeless challenge.
That's right.
We all have a role to play.
Right. Well, thank you so very much. You did a great job. And let's wave goodbye to our watching audience. Goodbye, everybody, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.